I agree entirely with you, Minister, when you say that the long-term benefits to opening all Office of Public Work sites freely to children will be huge. There has been much talk recently about how we need to move our education system away from the reliance on memory and recitation and focus more on learning through experience. Visits to various sites steeped in history will not only inspire creativity but also create lifelong memories. Paris is one city which can be looked to when examining such a plan. Anyone who has visited Paris is aware that it is an expensive city. However, if you are under 26 and are a citizen of the European Union, you are entitled to free entry into some of the finest and most popular museums and monuments of the city. The Louvre, the Arc de Triomphe and the Pantheon, which ordinarily cost €12, €9.50 and €9 respectively, are some of the most well-known tourist attractions in the world and save a young visitor a very incentivising €30. We have some fantastic sites here in Ireland spread all over the country, and they draw in many visitors every year. Heritage sites managed by the OPW open for free on the first Wednesdays of every month for the duration of their seasons and has proved very popular. The number of visitors to OPW heritage sites rose to 6.6 million last year, a significant increase on the previous year. All across Ireland, visitor numbers are up. Areas outside of the big cities have seen a huge rise in the number of visitors, and we can thank the OPW sites for this. With this in mind, Minister, and I'll conclude, I would beseech you to carry through, and I say not rest until you have carried out your plans to open all OPW sites free to children. Thank you.
Margaret, Minister.
First of all, Senator, can I thank you for those kind words and your opening remarks. Can I also say that it's a privilege for me as a Minister of the OPW to be here. This is my first, which you're right to say, it is my first engagement, and I'm delighted to be here to do so. Can I immediately on taking up my position as post as Minister of OPW and Public Works, I asked my officials to introduce a scheme of free entry for all children under the age of 12 to paid heritage sites managed by the OPW Heritage Service. Such a scheme would, in my view, be very progressive development which would foster a greater awareness of the value of our natural culture among our young and would encourage a greater participation among families and desire to visit these sites. The Office of Public Works already operates a free scheme for school visits for many years, would remain unchanged. The proposal I am considering would, however, extend the scheme to all children to visit these sites. Following a full assessment of the operational needs surrounding the proposals, which involve changes to admission protocol to its sites, the consideration of financial cost, I hope to be in a position to make a formal announcement in the coming weeks. Thank you.
Briefly.
Thank you, Minister, and for your response and indeed your enthusiasm on this subject. And of course, I very much hope that this will carry through to Cabinet and that the proposals are successful.